Okay, that shit. They just rained on my little parade. Rained on my little parade. Um, hold on 1 second. Damn. It usually will let you transfer, but it didn't let me do it that time. But yo, got to fucking be. Thank you so much, Haya. I'm back again, Licia. We got to be a little more responsible with our own endeavors. Kareem, hi, beloved. I miss you. I'll see you soon, bro. Definitely have to be involved in order to make the fucking pain stop and make the bully go sit his ass down. Niggas been getting fucked up long enough. They've been getting fucked up long enough. And if you're tired of getting fucked up, there's some requirements. And those requirements may mean that you can't watch TV. Maybe you need to read some books. Maybe you need to read up on some history. Maybe you need to read up on some law. Shit. If you dealing with grandma and grandpa, you're in history already. And then you're able to ascertain what laws were pertinent to them at the time. What's up, Chris Humphrey? How you doing, beloved? Angie Stokes, hey, boo. Chocolate Poppy, what's up, beloved? You know, so you can't leave it up to these pilgrims. But now you got an idea. Everybody's state page, your state legislature page tells you everything going on in your country. You shouldn't be fucking surprised about nothing. Nothing. Set up the tweets to where they come to your phone just with your state. So when some shit pops off in your state, you know exactly what's going on. Check the U.S. Attorney General. You participating with some of these businesses and don't know they're not even supposed to be standing because they done did something, violated something that got something to do with you. Right? You gotta stop letting these people take your cornbread. Everything, a parking ticket is not no fucking reason to go to trial and let these fucking cops bust your fucking ass when you know damn well you can beat the parking ticket. You don't even got to answer to the parking ticket. Like you don't have to go nowhere. You can write on the back. It gives you options of what to do with your tickets on the back of the fucking ticket. You come on. Come on. Thank you, Maladin. Gotta do better with our own selves, yo. Gotta do better with our own selves. Protect your children. The free shit. Did niggas do the free shit? The free shit. You know what I'm talking about the free shit? Did you change your social security card? After you found your Indians, did you change your social security card? Did you change your health documents to reflect that you are American Indian? Do you want to drop dead? We're doing all of this work in Indian country and the coroner mark your ass off as black? Is that what you want? Thanks, Danielle. Is that what you want? Niggas getting arrested. They don't know who you are. They calling you black still. You ain't told them. Don't get online and try and convince me. The minute I confirmed and was able to find that motherfucking Indian is the day that I went and changed them records. My children, my parents. Yes, indeed. That's when we found out that in the state of Virginia won't let you get your grandparents' records, right? But because in states like New York, where a lot of children are raised by their grandparents or their aunties and uncles, a lot of children are being raised by extended family members. So they had to give them rights, right? For them to be able to get their stuff. Because if your grandparents are taking care of you and your parents are dead, you can't even get your grandparents' birth certificate unless one of grandma's kids is there. So if your mama and daddy ain't got no siblings, you can't get it. If my aunts and uncles wasn't here, I wouldn't have been able to get grandma's birth certificate from Virginia. And then I believe earlier this year, January 2020, New York, if it wasn't this year, it was definitely last year, January, New York allows you to get aunts, uncles, get your grandparents' birth certificates and stuff like that. That shit is important. Are you doing that? Like, because before you start, listening and sitting down to a 10-hour video, do you have your shit in a row. Everybody signs up for the, what do they call it? The marketplace. The marketplace, health insurance. Niggas to see that you have the autonomy to control that, right? And where it asks you, are you American Indian, black, this, that? Niggas get so mad because that box, you don't know how to override that box that pops up when it says you American Indian. Then it asks you what tribe, right? Oh, get the spiel ready. You know what? It rolls off my mama tongue now. It rolls off my auntie and them tongue now. Because when they ask them, do you have proof of being a Native American? Listen, motherfucker, you checked American Indian on the paper, and then they turn around and ask you for proof of being a Native American. You could just simply smile. You don't got to get aggressive. Listen, Indian by kinship, not membership. And watch them scramble. Watch them scramble. But some of y'all niggas, you so used to taking no for an answer that you won't challenge nothing. Let me tell you something that's going to work for you. Even if you're not sure, always question it. Question in a non-aggressive manner, right? Sometimes you got to act like you a dumb blonde, right? Just so they'll tell you the truth. Sometimes if you act like you don't know, they'll tell you the truth because they think you're too stupid to be reactive to it anyway. Got to play off of them thinking that you're slow any fucking way. But when they tell you, well, we can't do this, but we can't do that, make them show you in writing. Make them show you in the law. Whatever it is that they're fucking telling you, make them prove it. Well, we have to come in and check on the kids because we got a complaint saying this, that, and the third. Prove it. Well, you mind if I search the car because I do smell marijuana? There's no law that say they gotta search the car. That probable cause shit been thrown out. And for all you niggas that been telling people all of these Moorish practices and shit like that, if you're hip to the dip and know how to protect yourself, you know you can use one state, whatever state you reside or do business in, it carries over into the other states. There is no cashing out no fucking birth certificates like you gonna get some goddamn social security money and all this shit. If I got $1 for every nigga I seen go to jail trying to cash in on that, I had a homeboy right now getting a mental evaluation. This nigga that took it too far, telling the fucking city hall officials that if they don't give him the keys to this motherfucking park that he's claiming is his motherfucking land, he gonna put liens on them and all this other stupid shit. Stupid shit. Full faith and credit carries with you. What's legal for you, what's a law for you in California is a law for you in fucking Florida. Right? If they recognize your gay marriage in Wisconsin, when you get to, well, North Carolina ain't recognized that shit. They make it very clear the institution of marriage is man and woman. Okay? But in New York, the shit would fly. But North Carolina, absolutely not. Your full faith and credit might make some exceptions to that rule, right? If you could turn right on red over here and you happen to do that there, your full faith and credit will work in that regard, in that capacity. But if your ass do something, you break a fucking law here, they will send you back to your home fucking country if you a wanted man over there. You can't fight extradition. So you can't have it both ways, right? So that's how you use that. Not cashing in no goddamn $10 million because you know they got this and that. Nigga, stop with that Moorish shit. Affidavits, declarations, this, that, and the third. Listen, nigga, who are you declaring shit to? The motherfucker that can't interfere with your right to self-identify and you have the burden of proof. For real, niggas is walking around with complete fucking they whole binder full of everything that they got on their grandma and grandpa. Dumb shit. You still walking around with your social security card. Look at the back of that bitch and it say, do not carry this. Don't carry this card. Open up a nigga wallet. Nigga got that social security card looking ashier than a motherfucker in there. You ain't supposed to carry it. These niggas ask you for it. You don't refuse. Why are you giving it to them? It says don't get his number out. Use what they did to you against them. Shit, I'm not giving you my social security number. I'm sorry. It says don't give it to you. I don't want to break the law. Bang. Fuck them up with their own shit. On the back of that card, that shit says do not give this number to anyone. It's ours. But if you lose this card, if you lose your card, return it to us. That's just going to the Social Security Administration, not the name of the person on the card. Right? Got to do better. It's nobody's fault that people don't know how to clap back. And sometimes let it roll. Use that shit against them. Nigga, we didn't create this birth certificate scam fraud shit. They've been doing this shit since 1666. Please stop acting like the U.S. did it when they passed the Bankruptcy Act in 1933. This shit happened in 1666. They was doing a birth certificate scam. Nigga, this shit ain't new. It's new to you niggas, but it ain't new to these colonizers. It ain't new to them. Beware of states that are still a fucking commonwealth. Virginia is a commonwealth. Look how many independent cities. Independent cities. They're independent cities, not counties. Independent cities. Right? So, gotta get it together, beloveds. Y'all gotta do, make sure these motherfuckers ain't make sure they ain't taking your cornbread, but don't lose your mind either trying to keep up with them. You could go about your normal business, but you got to be ready. When they come and fuck with you, bust their head open. Don't be a Christian then. Don't be a Christian then. Well, they only took my kids one time. Shouldn't it? How many more times should they take it? Do something to violate you before you feel like protecting yourself, right? Because if it's niggas up in your face, you're going to block and duck. Why are you going to sit there and let them keep? Once you make one example, the rest of them will fall back and leave you alone. They will fall back. I promise you, they'll be put on some, you know what? Leave that motherfucking Indian alone. They'll put you on a list. You may not ever see the list, but they will put you on the list. They'll put you on the list. The leave them motherfuckers alone list. Don't you want to be on that list? Turn it over. What's up, G Major? Monday, beloved, how are you? Sending tons of good energy to you. Right? Gotta fucking deal with that shit. You ain't gotta be no motherfucking expert. Your state is your country. Your Bill of Rights are there. Check your Bill of Rights. That limits what the government can do to you. If they fucking fall outside of that, bust them upside their head. You can't lose. And if you do lose, it's because you suck. And in the words of YZ, if you suck, you're the only one you can blame, right? That's a fact. That's a fact. Hold on, let me pull this up. Give me one. I want to show y'all New York State. Hold on one second. Everybody's got a state.gov site. Everybody's got one. Every state has a .gov. Hold on one second. And you can find out what's going on in these areas. Here you go, right here. There you go. Okay, hold on one second. And y'all look at this legislature, and this is where you find what's going on in your hood. You don't gotta, and it will behoove you to learn these things. You know why? Because the news is always gonna lie. The news is always gonna lie. What's up, David Corey? The news is gonna lie. Seal the deal. I wouldn't even call it a do not detain list because it's just a leave them the fuck alone list. I think it's just a leave them the fuck alone list. I wouldn't even say a do not detain. So let me see something here. All right. Here we go. Government, right? And this is just a New York State website. And you go into to the government. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Now, this is your Attorney General, Letitia James. Of course, if something goes wrong, they'll just blame Donald Trump, but they'll never know. Thomas D. Napoli has been a fucking comptroller, oh my gosh, that I know of, at least for the last 12 years, right? I was doing unclaimed funds. If people don't know, I think I showed this to you guys before. The unclaimed funds is where there's a lot of money in unclaimed funds. I'm just going to show you really quick. Every state has a comptroller, right? So the comptroller, this fucking punk here, happens to be Thomas D. Napoli, all right? And he's been the comptroller for New York State for quite a long time. But let me tell you what the comptroller does. The comptroller has the control over the unclaimed money and unclaimed property, right? So when your state goes absentee rogue, basically, they hold your shit in escrow, okay? So you have unclaimed funds right here. Now, let me tell you what the unclaimed funds can consist of. Let me just put in, all right, boom. Now, there's some things in here, and I'm going to show you for music, right? That haven't been claimed yet. Some shit from the music days. And it'll have sometimes your initial, who's it from, this case here. This is a life insurance policy, right? This is a life insurance policy. And they'll have the address here. Let me see something. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. So, okay, so these are your West now. Staten Island University Hospital, Payflex Systems, Universal Music Corps, right? I'm gonna leave that, but yeah, Universal Music Corps. They send stuff to addresses that you lived at 15, maybe 20 years ago. If you have backdated child support and you overpaid, they may not send you no letter, but nigga, you might have a check for $32,000 that they took from you that they wasn't supposed to. This is where you check. Every state has it. This is money that you don't even know. Now, let me tell you, it's not limited just to, paychecks and things like that. If you had a job at Burger King back in 1992 and you did not go and pick up that paycheck, they can't keep the money. Their books and balances will always be messed up. So what happens is it goes into an escrow account, right? So now in New York, I found almost $1 million for my friends, family, and loved one. Hardly nothing for myself, always peddling shit. You can have a Western Union transfer that you sent your daughter in college 9 years ago and she never picked it up, right? That Western Union transfer, Western Union didn't call you back and say, hey, G Major, your daughter never picked up that transfer. You could go and pick up your money. It just sits there. And the states are stealing. So when they be like, robbing taxpayers' money, I'll be like, get the fuck out of here. That unclaimed funds, I don't have no problem with that. This is why I don't got no problem paying with taxes, because I know there's people less fortunate than me that need shit. And the money ain't going to come from out of thin motherfucking air. Right? I like having street lights. I like having smooth roads. And I like the fact that I don't got to house no goddamn prisoners in my backyard. I don't give a fuck about paying taxes. I ain't paying no obnoxious taxes. But I don't mind taking care of somebody that's fucking disabled veteran that can't work no motherfucking more. I don't mind. I don't call that sitting there taking all the taxpayers' money and shit. Get the fuck out of here. That's about as far as my socialism goes. I don't give a fuck about that. I like having roads. I like the fact that there's somebody that will chase a nigga down that steals my motherfucking car. I like that. I don't want to be responsible for doing that. The killer would never end. Somebody violate you. Government's important. Plus, I know that when grandma was running shit, I was on dishes. This one had to vacuum. We all have responsibilities within the government structure of a fucking household, right? Yes. Yes. Hey, Paris. What's up, Queen? Hey, beauty. Yeah, child support is very much a scam. I won't even say it's a scam. It's really messed up. And they've been doing this shit since the 1600s. Y'all better look at them bastardy bonds. So when you wonder why some of your people was enslaved, nigga automatically just assume it's some African granny kidnapped from Africa. It might be your white grandmother that had a baby by a Negro, and they got the bastardy bonds out. Yes. Yes, that happened. Family is absolutely business. That's not a lie. Family is absolutely business. Family's business. And child support, it's not supposed to be structured the way it is. And goddamn, I feel sorry for some of you brothers, because these bitches will steal all your money and won't even let you see your motherfucking kids. And some of these judges be okay with that. I'm not okay with that shit. Right? I'm not okay with that. I would never support that type of shit. But then there's some niggas that, you know, too much fluorescent, too much Sam Wolfstein, and they don't go see their kids, and all they got is a check. The least you could do. I know niggas that be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what that bitch doing. As long as I send that bitch money, in my mind, I could sleep good because I know I gave everything I was supposed to give. But what could a nigga do? The bitch won't let him see his son. Some bitches just be corny like that. They take all the bread and then still don't want to let you see the baby. Playing fucking, you know, playing games and shit like that. Who? Who is that? I didn't even see what y'all talking about, beloved. Ain't you an admin? Get rid of anybody that's bothering y'all. I don't get to see every chat. If y'all got somebody in there, y'all got that hammer, toss their asses out. Y'all don't got to worry about that. Y'all being comfortable on the set is important to me too. So if somebody's in there disturbing the peace and you got the hammer, boot their ass out. I'm not even on the YouTube app, so I can't even give you a hammer. But if they need to say something, maybe they want to say something or something. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on, but I don't want y'all to be bothered by nobody that's in the chat, especially somebody that's not familiar, right? Not familiar. I dropped the link in case anybody wants to get up here and chop it up on me too. Unclaimed funds. Okay. Unclaimed funds, everybody has a state comptroller. It may not be called that. Let me show y'all what it looked like in California. Now, this one doesn't really tell you. Let me go back to this real quick, this New York, just so I can show y'all what this shit is like. But people got money out there and don't even know that they got money out there. Just sitting on top of shit and think they the brokest niggas in the world, right? And don't even know that the state been flipping and bouncing your motherfucking money all this time. Right? So, okay. So now PayFlex systems. Okay, so this is Universal Music Corp. Okay. Boom. Okay, so now this will tell you the owner's name, the address, the last known address that they had at the time, who it's reported by, and reported as. Okay, so this here is for Terry West, right? And it's got the number of owners. So there's only one person entitled to this, and that is Terry West. And this is amounts due for undelivered services. Okay, and then it has the code and the year reported. So now this year reported is 1991. But what happens with the state comptrollers? What happens with the state comptrollers is you have between 2 and 7 years to report it. Okay, so that one, this particular one was reported in 1991. So that could have happened from anywhere from 1991 all the way back to 1980 something, right? Because they have 2 to 7 years to do that, to post it. And it has to go within that. So they put the shit in escrow. 30 years from now, you still may not remember that your dad sent you $500 when you was in fucking college. That shit is there. How come it doesn't grow interest? But when you claim the money, let me tell you, if it's over $250, they charge you a $35 fee. If it's under $250, they just send you the check. But California, other places tell you exactly what it is, exactly what it was. I used to have a side hustle, and one of my side hustles, I had a computer since the 90s, early 90s, right? I had internet. So from 96, I would say I got the gateway computer from 96 to about 2002. I'm lying. Probably 2006 or 7. I've always done the unclaimed funds. That was actually one of my side hustles. I used to find money for celebrities, all types of shit. Aretha Franklin, before she died, I was actually going to tell her where all this money is that they owe her. They still owe her fucking estate. Let me show y'all something real quick on this New York State shit, just so you know how real it is. Let me put a name in that people know. Just so you know. This is how slow these niggas are too. Because they don't know it's out there. And this is how I made a fucking killing doing side gigs, just being innovative. Here's Dame Dash. Well, he used to have a whole slew of shit. This is definitely him, Park Avenue, 5th floor. But these people owe Dame Dash money. Okay? I just used him for an example because, again, I told you, he's probably collected on all the other fucking claims that I found him with his rude ass. But all right. Yeah. So this is reported by Atlantic. This is definitely probably Atlantic Records. Dash Films include payee Damon Dash. So this is some money that they owed him. Wages, payroll, salaries, compensation. So at the point where Dame Dash had all of these tax troubles and stuff like that, I had reached out to definitely assert myself as, you know, the skills that I have of finding shit, and that's going to benefit motherfuckers, number one. And two, because nigga, they holding your fucking bread. They sitting there trying to bag you for taxes, but you got all these thousands of dollars and blah, blah, blah. And that, and this, that, and the third, right? So let me show y'all this one here. Okay, we're going to do California. Now, California is dope because California tells you how much. Hold on 1 second. Show you what California like. This comptroller, Troller, like controller, but it's comptroller, like compensation. So check out California Office of the Comptroller and what's about their unclaimed property versus, let's say, like Virginia or even Alabama. But every so if you had nothing really don't told them to turn the lights on Tuesday, then something happens and you like, you know what, I'm not even going to take that apartment. And when you're moving over here somewhere else, maybe the lights is going to be in your husband or your wife's name, right? So you don't even need to have power on in your name. But you forgot that you gave them a $300 down payment. Now this shit sat here for 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 years go by. You don't even remember that you sent this here. They're not going to come fucking looking for you, okay? They're not going to do it. Now, California does tell you what the dollar amounts are. So again, I'll use somebody like Dame Dash. I'm going to use that because it's just easy and you'll see. Hold on 1 second. Are you fucking joshing me? Ugh. Crosswalks. This is whack. Oh my gosh. How many times? The ball bounces. There's still no bones and ice cream. Skip. You've got to be kidding me. Look at this shit. It keeps making you do it over and over. Boom. There we go. Okay. So okay, he got all that motherfucking money. Because I'm telling you right now, that nigga had tons of money. Tons of calls. Somebody else trying to cut my motherfucking side hustle for my creativity out. Ain't that some bullshit? But yeah, so Dame Dash doesn't have anything there, but in California, let me show you who does. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you who does. We know damn well Aretha's estate is still in disarray. It's easy to use. Like, super important. So now when these fucking elections and shit come up, you need to know who the fuck is there for you. Boom. Aretha Franklin. Look at all this fucking money. This shit gonna go off. Now these is definitely Dick Allen. Everybody knows she was used to be on the Dick Allen show. Super heavy hitter producer, Beverly Hills addresses. These are the addresses. So let's just look at what one of these claims look like. Now this P indicates some sort of payment that is due to her. And it gives you the dollar amount. So here it tells you Crown Products Incorporated, right? Care of Dick Allen, Beverly Hills, salaries and wages. So they owed her $598.50. Sometimes a motherfucker falling on hard times needs every goddamn bit of what it is that belongs to them, right? Unclaimed property. So every state has a comptroller's office. If you've lived somewhere and you haven't lived there 10 years, it's not going to kill you to go and check the unclaimed funds. They might owe you a couple dollars. It's not going to kill you to do that. 5 minutes of your time. You could do it in your downtime, right? You could do it in your downtime. Great rising, Anu. How you doing, beloved? All right? You can do it in your downtime. So yes, definitely every state has it. Office of the Comptroller. These are people that you elect in. Now, this man, Thomas D. Napoli, this nigga been here for a very long time here in New York. I don't know what's up in your neck of the woods or who your comptroller is, but you definitely might want to check. Office of the Unclaimed Funds. You might get a couple dollars that you don't got to ask nobody for nothing till payday, because now this shit coming, right? Real simple. But don't let them get away with that, because they take your money and it goes sit in fucking escrow, and there should be some fucking interest on it. If they had your money since 1991, how much money do you think the fucking, well, in this case, the state of New York has made off of billions and billions of dollars of people forgetting that they got chicken up in these places? And this is how they recycle. And then they turn around and tell you, there's no money to do that. There's no money to do that. Man, they need to stop lying and stop accepting lies. Stop accepting lies. Found insurance money. They have to, especially if it's superannuated, Renee. They have to. That's so dope, Cherokee Territory. Yes, homegirl, please inbox me. That would be super dope. I'd love to talk about it. That's so interesting. Penham Squad. That's dope. That's dope. Congratulations on your fine, honey. Hey, Karen. Hey, cousin Karen. It was thousands. It was from mutual funds, right? And they forgot about it from an old job. So definitely those things, a lot of that stuff rolls over. So there's hidden money out there that is totally belonging to you. And these people have been borrowing the shit and putting it back and hope they don't look. Are they looking? Are they looking? They don't know. And they're stealing from the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? They're stealing from the fucking cookie jar. So definitely you want to do something about that. Renee, if it's through the state comptroller, there's definitely just the documents and stuff that you have to get. But we're supposed to be talking soon anyway. I know both our lives get crazy busy and stuff like that, but I definitely miss you. I do want to speak with you and definitely want to help you with that. Nobody got time to be playing with that, with people money and stuff like that. We ain't got time for that. But it's a whole bunch of stuff out there. So not only that, now you also, guys, they have unclaimed property also, right? So if you are looking at certain things, and this is even when you're renting, and this is super important. Let me just tell y'all something. Especially now with this COVID shit and people got all these different scams. A lot of people didn't make it past the moratorium and they are now currently being evicted, right? And you got a chance to run into some of these other people that are actually fucking scammers, and you go looking for an apartment and stuff like that, right? You know, you can look at City Hall. You can look at City Hall and see if this landlord really owns this motherfucking house. You can tell if he's a new owner, even if it has the previous owner's name or whatever. But you're welcome, Star Child, you know, but definitely, Start doing the research and verify who the fuck it is that they say they are. If you walk into a county office and you think that they're not doing something to your liking, you feel like you're not getting a service that you like, look up the rules to the county. The county has rules and procedures as per those job descriptions. Then figure out what it is that they're not doing, right? And this was something, and thank goodness I never did no damn UCC, because there was a few years ago where I actually thought that I would have been doing the right thing, but at the point of me thinking that I was going to be a foreigner, I just could not fucking part with that. It didn't even make no sense, and I'm so glad I did, because I'm not a fucking foreigner, right? I didn't have no business doing that, and I got businesses, and I got things that I don't want to part with, and I want protected, but I didn't have to do that under fucking UCC. I realized that shit. That shit's for foreigners, not for the Indian, right? So even coming into this, you got to learn how to do things the way you're supposed to do things. And it don't got anything to do with everybody else's fucking ideologies. And I think a lot of people are going to soon find out that that's the case, right? All these crazy declarations, affidavits, this and that, and this and that. And the basic shit ain't done. They don't want to see no fucking declaration. You couldn't declare down at the Social Security office who your ass was. Why should I accept this fucking piece of paper now that you got fucking charges and shit like that? Think about it. You wouldn't pull no fast one on grandma. You should probably think about it before you think you're going to get over on the motherfucking law too. You should probably fucking think about that. So you have the unclaimed funds, and of course, this leads up to people that are still in office that probably shouldn't fucking be there anymore, right? Probably shouldn't even fucking be there anymore. But instead of complaining, now you know where to go to look for things in order to get your complaints heard, number one, answered, number two, right? General Assembly, criminal court rules. You look at the criminal, what is it, CPR, criminal procedure rules. You can look in that. Everything that you think they're not doing right in the courtroom is there. I don't care what state you're in, and it's written pretty much in plain English. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know, oh, this motherfucking judge didn't do none of that, right? Push the envelope a little bit, not to where you're belligerent, but they know you ain't Joe Slow. And you ain't just fall off. Oh, Grandma said, I ain't just fall off no damn turnip truck. I never understood what that meant, but I thought the shit was funny as hell. You think I fell off a turnip truck, right? The elders used to ask you that stupid shit. But now, mind you, you could just put random things in. Now, mind you, I'm telling you, I did this for everybody that I knew in New York City, everybody I knew in Albany, pretty much everybody that I knew in New York State that had lived here, been here, took residence here at one time or another. And I absolutely made sure that I told them where this was at and how to get to it. And this is back some, I'm gonna say from fucking 97 or whatever. So yeah, definitely gotta vet things out. This is the era of fucking scams. And you gotta be careful with that, you know, especially if you renting an apartment and shit like that. Them motherfuckers that act like they own the house and don't own the house, and you done gave this nigga first month rent, last month rent, security deposit. Now your ass is on your back pocket and you can't even move because this motherfucker done ran away with your bread. You go file a fucking police report. They don't know this nigga who told you his name was one thing, but he's really Mr. Mbuntu from Lord knows where, right? From Lord knows where. Also, this is also important too. Go back to this. Hold on one second. Hold on. I want y'all to see this too. Un momento. I'm going to go back to here with the elections. Let me see. So, got U.S. House right here. We went through that. Governors. These are your presidents of the countries that you're from. You're from New Jersey? Who's your governor? From New York, Cuomo is the governor. He's the president of New York State, of this company. He's the president of this company. All right. So these are your states that have the gubernatorial races. American Samoa, isn't that interesting now? Because they are part of U.S. territory, not quite a state, but still a territory nonetheless. Delaware, Indiana, Missouri, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina is important. North Dakota, Puerto Rico, Utah. Now, Puerto Rico should be super stingy, right? They should be super fucking stingy because, first of all, they fucked up their constitution, even adding them to the United States. The Constitution of Puerto Rico is just as fucked up and oppressive as, let's say, independent country Jamaica. The Jamaican Constitution is absolutely fucked up, and it definitely needs to be ratified, burnt down, amended, start all over from fucking scratch. Facts of life. That's not a lie. Then you have Puerto Rico, just with the hurricane relief and the way that they've treated Puerto Rico, third world country like shit like that. They should be very selfish and stingy, specifically with this gubernatorial vote. So you got Utah, you have Vermont, you have Washington State, and you have West Virginia. And these are the people that are running. It doesn't look like there's any incumbent for American Samoa. No incumbent for Montana. Wow. And also Utah. So this is kind of interesting. It's really not a lot of competition for that, for the most part. And clearly this is not Republican or Democrat. This Lolo Madalasi Maliga from American Samoa. You got John Carney, who's a Democrat, Eric Holcomb, who for Indiana, Republican, Missouri, Republican, Montana, Democrat, Republican for New Hampshire, Roy Cooper, Democrat. North Carolina is a fucking battleground state. So it could go either way in those battleground states. But I am really surprised. I'm really surprised about them even really having a Democratic governor. Like generally North Carolina, Confederate state, they're generally in the red for the most part. So it's very, very interesting, especially coming out of those particular battleground states. And North Carolina is a battleground state. Give me 1 second. My brother's just texting me. Yeah, so these are where your governors are going to come out of. So I don't know how and what state it is that you live in, but it's important to know. So if you don't want to vote Donald Trump, you are responsible for the president of your country, right? Secretary of State. How do you do business? You go when you open up a business and you file and register your articles of incorporation or your articles of organization, you go through the Secretary of State. That is the person in charge. The Secretary of State is the state official notary of the state, right? The official notary of the state that is attesting and affirming that you are doing business in said state. So now the election information, it tells you in 47 states, all except Alaska, Hawaii, and Utah, the Secretary of State is among the top executive offices. Although the duties and powers of the Secretary of State vary from state to state, a common responsibility is management and oversight of elections. Of elections and voter rolls, which are assigned to the Secretary of State in 41 states. Other common responsibilities include registration of businesses, other common responsibilities, right? But the main one is fucking with the elections, the voter rolls, huh? But the most common one that they do on a day-to-day basis is registering businesses, maintenance of state records, and certification of official documents. So they are your official notary of the state. Yep. So a state government triplex describes when one political party holds the following three positions in a state's governor, attorney general, and secretary of state. 6 states impose some form of term limits on the office of Secretary of State, which is good because a lot of them end up being in this bitch forever, and they need to go. Lots of them need to go. And down here, you can talk. You can find more about editorial. Of course, your attorney, lieutenant, gubernatorial, and attorney general elections as well. So now you got this sister here, Lakeisha James. So far, I haven't really been here long enough to hear any complaints. But I might have some soon because we got some work to do, especially with some of the loved ones to tend to. So yeah, we'll see how this shit shake out with this particular sister here. But again, you should have transparency, and you know, you definitely want to see. Get the fuck out of here! What is this? You definitely want to see. You definitely want to see who's in charge. You definitely want to see that. So now, the Attorney General, you probably want to watch that website. And the reason why you watch the Attorney General website is because there's criminal activity that happens on the state level that you may not be privy to. So for instance, if you're going into a restaurant that has allegations of selling rat food, right? And there may be animal feces and pet dander somewhere near the surfaces that are being cleaned. You've been away for 3 months and you come back and you want to go to your favorite spot to get your favorite slice of pizza. Don't know that's and they on the verge of closing or whatever, what have you, right? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Sometimes you have to line up some of your lawsuits. Now, the Attorney General is very important. If you have to sue the police, if you have to sue the sheriff, if you have some sort of complaints about the businesses in the city or state that you're in, the Attorney General is very important, right? But I got some drop for these motherfuckers. Certainly not Lakeisha James, because she is fairly new. And I know the statute of limitations, sometimes I kind of operate like that. I don't suggest everybody else do. But when you're lining up act right for these people, you could do it by order of time, statute of limitations. For instance, some shit that they did to me 2 years ago, I got 3 years in New York State to file a complaint about some shit that they did to me. Right? I got 3 years to do it. So if the statute of limitations is in June, still no sound? Is that better? Are you able to hear? Can you guys hear now? Is that better? Okay. So the statute of limitations will go in that order. So if there's a lawsuit that I have 3 full years, that's going to get to the bottom of the list. I'm not even going to worry about that now. You wait and go to the one that's about to expire, right? That's how you get them, they act right. And I'm telling you, it's only going to take 1 or 2 battles before they know not to fuck with you. You're going to have 1 or 2 battles where you introduce yourself to these people as the American Indian, and they're going to put some fucking respect on your name. They may look at you funny. They'll talk to you as if what you saying don't make sense, but they do that psychological shit to see if you back down, right? But when you get all aggressive, I'm an Indian, I'm a Moor, I'm a this, I'm a that, they be sitting there like, oh yeah, you a what? Oh, all right now. Don't fucking play with them. And don't fucking throw this shit out the window for everybody else that really has some righteous shit to be mad about. Right? Because that's what happens. You had your motherfucking wild Nigerian nigga calling up the Cherokee and shit. Right? Look at how niggas steal and drop and don't even know that they fucking it up for people. Right? Now, when I called the BIA, it was based off some questions that I'm asking specifically about my family, right? And I did it in a journalistic manner. Specifically, when you call the motherfuckers and they say your call is recorded for quality assurance purposes, I have the right to do the same thing, because whose quality are they assuring? Certainly isn't mine, right? So I did the call with the BIA and I got them answering questions and shit like that. Got them answering questions or whatever. And they're answering questions based off of lies that we've all been told, but I got them telling the fucking truth. So then months later, a year later, whenever you see the wild Nigerian over in Indian country calling up motherfucking Cherokees, talking about the Cherokees is black and all this other shit. And the lady was like, well, are you Cherokee? But you said you was a black man a minute ago. Yeah, you gotta, people know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. But the point is, they're making those type of calls. Now they make it difficult for the real nigga to come through and pull up. Because niggas like that. Niggas that do shit like that. Right? Fucking it up. Thinking like they doing something right. And they not. They're making it hard for you. Right? They're making it hard. You're going to make a mountain out of a fucking molehill, and it really don't be that goddamn serious. So, yes. Hey, Eugene, how are you, beloved? Eugene, you know you can email me whenever you like. If you, let me put the number you could call me too, beloved. I know you said yesterday you wanted to talk. Again, let me drop a business phone number. Oh, damn. Six. Did you, American Indian? You got to leave me a text. Moon, it's me. Call me when you get a second. Sometimes I'll have my main phone with me. Then I'll have my business phone sitting on the charger. And I'm going to tell you, I don't work on weekends. I don't work on weekends. I don't do that. Weekends, I watch corny movies with my sister or my mom or something. I'm doing something. Family. That's the time they get. Indians get my time all the other time. The weekends, yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that. Hold on one second. So, but it's important that you know what these agencies are. Hold on, I got a couple more to go through as far as what's important for your vote, the people that's going to be pandering for your vote tomorrow. And shout out to the people that was ahead of the curve and ended up going to the polls early, right? Shout out to them that they've done that. Let me see. Okay, I'll be forgetting. There you go, Eugene. I just dropped it in there, beloved. John Blackhawk, peace and love to you, beloved. Okay, Renee, darling. Definitely. So now you guys know where to get all of this. You could go to your state page. You don't have to use Ballotpedia, but Ballotpedia kind of lets you click on North Carolina, lets you click on Texas, it kind of gives you the direction of the full body thing, right? But you can still check things out. You want to know what it looks like anyway in your state. You want to know, what does your state website look like? Who's in charge of certain things? If you got a situation, you need to know who is to blame, right? Who do you call to get somebody down at the State Department of Health in trouble, right? You want somebody you got to know who the hierarchy is in order to have some sort of accountability. If not, you're just going to keep getting your ass whipped. But again, people will make you feel like you are supposed to be uncomfortable asserting your rights, right? Or they've given you all these tools to be fucking belligerent where you're going to go start yelling at white people like you got all these rights when really you're just regurgitating some shit that some Moorish nigga made up. Because if they ask you to prove it, a lot of times people can't, right? So you definitely want to make sure you know what it is that you're talking about. Ballotpedia is good, period. All of your constitutions are here. Tons of case laws here. Justia also, I'm going to drop the link for that. Check out Justia. You can look up cases. Again, especially when it comes down to certain things with the, like I was saying, with the full faith and credit. In Arizona, a police officer smelling weed in your car is not enough to search the car or have probable cause. Right? So here's again where your full faith and credit will absolutely work. You know what I'm saying? Halito Terrence. Yes, I definitely seen that name. It's attached to a bunch of Indians too. I'll tell you that much. I definitely know that for a fact. Definitely hit up the email. You can hit me at nograndmakillers.com or 1492phoenix@gmail. Both of them are at Gmail. So again, that damn full faith and credit makes a lot of sense. But if you know the laws, there's 1,001 laws regarding Thompson. What is it? Thompson versus Wright. All of these, and this is just, regarding simple shit like driving without a license. You need to start being able to refer to some of those cases in order just to let them know that you know something, right? Not just be passive and just take it there. But then again, don't go trying to sue no fucking police officers because your ass didn't have headlights on your car, right? You didn't have headlights on your fucking car. You want to take something, then they wound up getting out their car and beating your fucking ass. And then you want to go drag them and don't sue them properly. You just want to place a fucking lien on them and shit like that. You don't get into all that shit. You make a bad name for your motherfucking self. You make a bad name for yourself, right? So as far as that goes, that is the presidential election. I totally get it. But when it comes down to that local judge, I ain't done yet. Because you ain't get down to that judge. That judge is the same motherfucker that was in high school with your older brother. They never liked you or your motherfucking family. Now they're going to spend the next X amount of years locking your fucking kids up because niggas ain't vote. Fuck it if you don't vote for Trump and them other motherfuckers. But when it come down to the local people that live near you, ain't no electoral college with them motherfuckers. That judge, that nigga, he didn't make sure he don't get in that motherfucker. Who's the sheriff? Why ain't niggas running for fucking sheriff? Why they ain't running? Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure people have their reasons, but goddamn, if you're going to leave all the jobs to them, don't complain how they do it. If you can't insert yourself inside these goddamn jobs, then we ain't never going to be free, right? And then if we don't get the right motherfuckers in there, because there's a lot of skin folk that help these other motherfuckers do their job against us. When we just want the righteous people to do righteous shit. Any way you put it. Any way you put it. It don't matter if you get 10,000 Indians in there, if they're going to be sitting there discriminating against motherfuckers, doing the same shit to niggas that motherfuckers was doing to the Indian. People foul. And that's why I say they be wanting a lot of shit they not willing to fucking give, yo. They not willing to give. They want you to love them, but they don't want to show you love. That's not how the shit go. It has to be some sort of balance, right? You can't mete out justice or expect justice and don't give it, right? And don't give it. People got to be more careful. Copper Color K, what's up, Warfare? So definitely it's important. Ballotpedia has Justia, has plenty of cases. Sometimes, beloveds, even if you don't know what it is that you're looking for, just Google something and it'll give you something close to it, right? Traffic tickets, whatever little clues that you can give or whatever, just to generate a hit. And go check out this site and you'll see different case laws. It'll refer to different cases and shit like that. That'll actually help you make it make sense, right? But I don't suggest you do all that because when you come with these affidavits and shit, and I'm going to keep it this real, when you're doing all these affidavits and all this other shit, you know what that takes away from? you being sui juris. It makes you pro se. You want to get in there and argue codes with them and talk about you this, that, and the third? You think they give a fuck? You gonna go in there and argue codes, or you gonna stop it at the stump? Because what they're practicing in the whole first place is a fucking fraud. You could just stop them in their tracks, because 9 times out of 10, you're not walking into a real courtroom. But if you go in there acting all pro se with affidavits, nigga, that puts you in the jurisdiction to argue fucking codes with these niggas. When they breaking the law just to prove that you broke a fucking code. Think about it. I'm not saying anything because I'm the smartest motherfucker. I'm telling you how to simplify shit. So you stop sitting there getting all stressed out, your fucking blood pressure through the roof, about to have a fucking stroke because they fucking with you. Right. And then pretty soon it'll become great practice. It'll trickle down to your children, right? It'll trickle down to your other loved ones and shit like that. It'll trickle down. And it'll be a practice. It won't just be something that you gotta get prepared for. You already fucking prepared. Don't wait. Don't fucking wait until they come kick your fucking door in to be like, I need to know my rights. Motherfuckers is buying, looking at all this other shit. Nigga got 5 minutes to look at their state constitution. Nigga, screenshot the shit. You ain't gotta look at it all the time. Just have it fucking handy. Have it fucking handy. Don't wait until they fuck you up to be like, yo, they trying to fuck me up. You know that there's a chance that they here on earth just to fuck you up. Why wouldn't you protect yourself, be proactive? Wait till shit hits the fucking fan, man. Don't do that. It's unfair. Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of motherfucking cure. Hold on 1 second. I think we got somebody here. Hey, G, I'm sorry.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm doing great. How are you, Miss Moon? Sister Phoenix?
Right. Oh, I'm happier than a faggot with a bag of emojis. I'm doing all right over here.
Oh shit. Hey, I'm back on, and I was told to just go silent and don't be going on these streams, but still, you know, with that said, you know, we don't want to get them excited, but then again, it's okay for them to get excited. We should say I'm excited like you know, I don't want to say the word.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said it either, but yeah, excited.
No, I ain't tripping because everybody has a purpose on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Normally, sodomites in jail, and even the female ones, they break the innocent, and they steal, just like one in our generation, they'd steal your confidence, and you'd be sitting up there like them old mean pictures with the sister and the little brothers, the Indians, they all mad, but the whole white class back because they all took your house, your hereditaments, your all that. I don't want to talk too much, but yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so right now, I think people should be secure in some of the research that they've already done, especially up to this point. And I'll put it like this, and these are for the people that are still not satisfied with what it is that they have in genealogy. But if you made it back to 1850 and you ain't found no fucking foreigners yet, I'm pretty sure you're a motherfucking Indian. You just have to find the families that they're connected to, because they started detribalizing the people from the first fucking wars, right? From these wars. Now, you know they got all of this shit going on. So look, I've showed the article with the Moors, right? And I'm glad they kind of stay in their place. They know when to fuck with me. Sometimes I know when to come out swinging, and I'm coming with the elbow, right?
Yeah, straight up, yeah.
I made this post, and I've been holding on to it, and I made this post, and it was from a newspaper, I think a Scottish newspaper from like 1721. And I was waiting for the Moors to rebut it, because it talks about the 10,000 black people that helped the King of Spain fight against the fucking Moors. So if they got expelled in 1492, why are you still getting your ass kicked in 1721? Now, this is before the reign of King George, which will put you in the era of the Revolutionary War. So it's got to be one of the King
James son you talking about?
Huh?
You talking about King George, which is King James' son, one of the 3 kings of the Virginia Company?
Actually, like a cousin. King Charles is the son. There's like 4 Jameses, and
I'm of that bloodline on my.
Yeah, then you have the 2 King Charleses, but this would probably be around Charles II, because they definitely killed the first King Charles, right? They had the wanted poster for him. Didn't they kill both of them?
You in depth on that one. I'm just honey. Well, I'm sorry, sister, Phoenix Moon. I would say this, as you said, I first found you through one of the brothers that has a platform, and the thing is, it was you, this sister, you, and that I'm speaking with now. Yeah, you put me on it. No grandma killer. So still, yeah, when we were young, we were always told we were Black Hawk. You know, we were Black Hawk. And I remember my grandmother's mother, my great grandmother, took us to a family member's house when we were young. Me and my oldest brother, my oldest brother, your complexion, we got the same parents, I've been going through some things for being, but we come in all shades, baby.
That's right. My twin and both my parents. Okay, so yeah. I
see your sister in the background once upon a time, in 2017, 18. But I would say this, as far as on my grandmother's mother, she took me and my oldest brother to a family member's house, and we were in that Johnny cab or the Dixie cab with the little whatchamacalls seats that come in. We got to the house. We were brought to the Indian bonnet. We were brought to the moccasins and the blade and the peace pipe. So it was, I guess, wasn't my great grandfather, but he was married to my great grandmother. But he said he grabbed the blade and he said, "You want to hold it?" And I'm a little kid. I'm 4 or whatever. And then he says, he puts the blade in my hand. I'm like, yeah, little kids, you can bop them up the head. You be like, oh, I'm sorry. But they're like, they just love you, But he put the blade in my hand and I grabbed it and he's like, and I was like, oh, So that was my first, I would say, not my first true in-depth experience with the ancestors, and the Great Spirit is what we call, us as American Indians, even though the cross, the same equatorial cross was here. It's here and it's on our headdresses, and it's on our lapels, it's on the Indian clothes, of our brothers and sisters, our American Indians from the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, all the way back. Even all of the so-called Hebrew symbols, which is American Indian symbols. It's original to here. This is the old world, but this is us. But anyway, anywho, as you would say, as a sister, as a woman, as the females, that bring us here, men and women. And know this, y'all, sisters out there, you cannot have a Black woman or a Black man without the seed of a Black man with the egg of the Black woman. So if you mix your seed with the others, it's going to be a whole different people. But still, that's even okay because everybody has a. Sorry for me rambling, but I'm just saying, Black Hawk Indian, and even on my mother's side, we have the Scottish and Scottish Irish. So I'm watching Braveheart right now, and they ain't lied, as you said before. They keep very, very good records. They ain't lying. Best step in honor, even to the point of death. My mentor had passed with my mother leaving to Georgia. Like Exodus movement of your people, but still, she's what, 69 now, but still needs to understand the private side. Once you deal with the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, it's the private side. So I'm sorry. Hopefully I ain't rambling too long, but I took my.
I'll tell you what I know about that stuff. Let me tell you. What they say about you in public is important. That's what causes the controversy, right? And I think that people got kind of confused as far as, first of all, there's no international ties. Niggas can't even get past their mayor, their town, city councilman. How are you going to skip right past international ties as if we get ready to do some business deal with China or somebody else, right? Those are private business transactions that the government doesn't have to interfere in unless there's some sort of tax or tariff needs to be applied because of the transaction, right? So I think that a lot of that comes from the Moorish ideologies, because everybody can do whatever they want in private because it's a secret, nobody knows. Yes. But what it is that you do in public is what they talk about and try to shame you for and make you do time and pay your debt to society for. So it's important what they say it is in public, right? So, and this is my thing to that, and this is how I have been able to try to explain this in a manner that doesn't make people feel crazy because they've learned how to do things that way, but there's nobody that's had it done effectively, right? Just like for real, it's been mad years later. How come you don't see Sabir Bey or Taj Tariq Bey? How come they didn't cash out their fucking birth certificate?
Well, as Trump even said, as far as
anything like that, it's been 10 motherfucking years. How long you got to wait? My homeboy that's getting mentally evaluated right now called me, no lie, and told me my nigga said he needed money to get to Philadelphia to go pick up a check for $70-something million. And in my mind, I'm like, homie, anybody that got a fucking $70-something million check for you gonna send you a black card, a ride, a fucking chopper, a helicopter. Nigga, you got me fucked up. You sitting there, how you need money to get to fucking Pennsylvania to go get you a fucking check for $70-something million?
For $75 million, you're on notice with the Depository Trust Company, which funds the U.S. Treasury. So yeah,
that shit ain't got nothing to do. Now you can look and see, what who's managing your account. You can absolutely see that. You can see how you're.
Yes.
You can definitely do that. All of that is true. But for an Indian to think that they're going to cash out on some shit. Stop it.
But that's CC, and then okay.
Public and private versus private thing stops you from handling your business, because it stops people from handling their business. What's up, Lone Wolf? How you doing, beloved? That it stops people from handling their business because they're saying this about you in private. If it was 10 years ago, at this point, you should be able to make them be quiet. Whatever was on your public record, your felony you had from 97, that shit should go away. You make them get rid of that on your on your public side, right? But there's no private way of doing that. You see what I'm saying? So these things linger around. So that public versus private, it really isn't helping anybody. In my mind, it stops them from learning how to be an Indian because you're bringing in Moorish practices. The Moors came in teaching that kind of stuff. And even though a lot of it makes sense, them niggas is foreigners. You cannot make a war an Indian. Now, again, you got to draw the line in the sand, because Aboriginal to where? Who do you descend from? The Bradbys, the Atkins, the Lewises, the Chickahominys, the Paul Monkeys? Do you descend from the Locklears or the Lowrys or the Lumbies? You got to have a fucking finite place. All of that, we Aboriginal. That shit sound mad vague, and it's a fucking new guise in order to be racist to other people. The same motherfuckers that's tired of being people being racist against them want to be racist against other people. So now you got fucking, like I just showed that picture, that blonde haired lady, Heather Locklear. She's very much a fucking Lumbee, right? But I bet you her fourth grade grandmother look like me. But niggas can't accept her, right? But now there's niggas that's unclassified right now, misclassified Indians right now that belong to the Lumbee tribe. And you're going to have to deal with a whole bunch of people that's light white, damn near white, with this much Indian left, holding on to the shred, and they're not going to let you in. That's another fucking battle. So when people was doing all this other shit, that battle right there ain't got nothing to do with the 5 civilized tribes. You got the fucking Lumbees. You got to fight with the Chickahominys, the Paul Monkeys, the Wampanoags, the Narragansett, the Creek. You got a whole bunch of other people.
And ma'am.
These other branches, you got the Powar Creek. Ain't nobody mad. How come ain't nobody claiming to be a Powar Creek? Niggas, all these niggas, these Muskogee men. How come ain't nobody in Powar Creek? How ain't nobody in Mowai Choctaw? Y'all wasn't in Mobile. Your family wasn't in Washington County. How are you not? How you ain't decided that your Alabama folks belong to the Mowai Choctaw yet? Like, so this is why I be like, well, people doing too much and they not doing nothing at all.
And see, these are family members that you're talking about. You're talking about Chickahominy and so like that. So yes, when you came through a different territory, these family members, or even if they wasn't family members and from a different tribe or a different clan, because you have your nation, your tribe, and your clan. So if you were moving through, and it's as you said, and you say this a lot, and I've learned this. It doesn't make a difference what being you are in the sense what color. Everybody has a plan on this planet, you know, within their plan, or their spiritually what they're supposed to do. So in dealing with law, you are the book. You know, I'm not the religious thing. That's one thing. Doctrine thing. That's one thing. But the laws are in all several doctrines, or all of the doctrines, and they still come back to the American Indian. You know, this is the old world. You know, so in a sense, what I'm trying to say is, as Sister Phoenix Moon would say, nigga, if you was fucked up then, it's not to behoove me that you aren't fucked up now. You know what I'm saying? If you was a fucked up dude or a fucked up girl, you know, in the generations, that shit travels. So we are at the point in time of a cycle changing of governments, changes of economic structure, and the changing of the new kingdom, so to speak, your new Jerusalem, as far as you getting right. You know, so in the court of law, you must be in honor to the point of death. You know, just be good and true. You know, they'll know who you are.
In honor in front of everybody when nobody's watching, right? When nobody's watching, I'm supposed to be in honor of you and you of me when nobody's watching, because that's how we supposed to relate to one another, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So it's like now we want to get people to do things that they, you know, make them feel better about doing things that they're supposed to do, when there is people that go above and beyond, right? And they have to compete in a climate with people that really a bunch of ain't shit people. If you a nice guy, why do I gotta people are the ain't shit niggas, right? But it's unfair because people will put you in that particular box, and that's not really your shoe size, right? So, yeah, we got to deal with people on their merits and how they deal with you. You know what I'm saying? What your rapport is. But first and foremost, we have to learn how to do business with each other. Niggas can't have nothing back if they can't govern themselves. Niggas don't want to police the nigga. He just smacked that lady. You gonna let him slide? Yeah, nigga gonna let him slide. You're not capable of self-governing. You'll let all the
following the law.
Right. So the law is only going to apply. We're going to sock it to all the white people, but we're going to let these niggas get away with doing everything dirty. Come on now. That's not governing. And anybody that is anti-government wants shit shaka shaka. That's what the Jamaicans call shaka shaka. All over the place, everywhere. All disarray and shit like that. Right?
Yes.
That's a fact. That's a fact. There's no order, no chaos. And people just think that that's going to be how that goes. And it's not like that. Hey, boo. I'm good, mama. It's not like that.
Yes. And hey, listen, like what you would say, and a lot of the other brothers would say on their platforms and others, you know, we say, you know, my mama never said we was slaves. My mama's never said we come from Africa, you know, and I was talking to my great aunt Beverly, my grandfather's 6 foot tall, yo color black man. You feel me? You know, property owner, first owner of a dry cleaners in where I was born, where Chief Blackhawk is from.
That's dope.
You know, which that's my line. That's my family member. And if you understand what that means, you would understand the War of 1812. You would understand the ceded treaty as far as over with St. Louis. You know, and then you would understand that when you look at the Indians that do so-called have straight hair, $5, whatever they call native. And so you would understand that a lot of them were sisters that look like you that were in the 1700s and 1800s and through those were, you know, those women were raped, and those women were, if they weren't raped, they were definitely, you know, as far as the U.S. government that was coming into our territories from the 13 black colonies, because those were all of their minion, their dogs that set the other dogs on. But anywho, you know, as you would say, you know, you check when your family tells you, and then you start looking at these memoirs. I've been reading the memoirs of General Wakefield, and to understand that George Washington was one of like his third nephew, and then Abraham Lincoln, which was born outside of the Illinois territories. You know, they all had they were all in part in knocking off the line of the people of the book, which are the American Indians, still. And then even King James, when he came over here, before he wrote his version of the Bible, he wrote a different book on how you deal with shit spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Wicked, evil people, how you deal with them before we even get physical. With the mind conceives, the body achieves. If I kill you in spirit, eventually that'll catch up with your body, and I ain't even got to be around. But still yet, this is what they learned from us, and still yet, just like this here, this is an equatorial sign, which has a heart in the middle of it, but still yet, it's from the Scottish Irish areas when they came over here, and still yet, just like with the Black Hawk or Sauk Nation in the crest, there is a cross also. And then there, on the crest. So still yet, man, that whole Moorish thing or these colonies did mix in, and it's like the Bible was told in reverse. Everything that's happened already is happening now. Or I see when they make movies, they don't make them for fun. But I watched this movie, like a lot of dudes, if they said, I've been watching this movie Dead Again. If you understand the immutable laws of the universe that are in all doctrines, you can see truth and lies and everything, in everything. And, I'm sorry, I'm starting to feel like I'm going too long, but yeah, it's real out here in the field. It's for real. And
I know for a fact things are getting better, right? Things are absolutely getting better. I'm going to tell y'all, it's just important right now to stay healthy.
Yes.
Stay healthy in your mind and physically healthy, because we got a big fight. Never mind these little internet skirmishes and shit like that. When it comes time to be
that was the evil distinction that was thrown in the pool. Even when I was in jail, I wouldn't change that experience for anything. And I probably said on another I probably said on another platform, I received a letter of recommendation from the White House, George Bush Sr. and Dan Quayle, so what that means for me in working in the media is, I did an assignment at NASA, eventually China. This is the whole theater on the theater of life on this planet, and we're all playing a part. Just, I guess we're going to get to where we're going, but hot damn it, right now these gates and portals are open, and our ancestors and even the other ones that fought against us to get land here, because we brought them about, so-called Jacob and stuff like that. And it's a lot of American indigenous, original American Indians, which are, so to speak, in that line of Jacob. But anyway, I ain't on the religion thing. But then soon as somebody hears some of that or sees a symbol like this, these are our symbols originally. But, that's when they say a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. And when you're young, seek to go to some people that are older than you that still remember the rites of passage, tell you how to be, little girl, you gonna be fine. Look at you, you already starting and stuff. But this is how you deal with a man, and this is when a man likes this, and a guy's looking at you. These are rites of passage, how you deal. And like a guy, the bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah, but still that original line of so-called Hebrew or Jewish. This is the American Indian, and in the dialects, the Algonquian is my language, but all of the dialects are actually Paleo-Hebrew. You would find out even that these Native American Indians, the ones that do have our blood in them, but still yet they speak the language of Kemet, ancient Egypt, Makata, or the Kabbalah, the soul, spirit, and body. Huh?
Who speak that? The damn Egyptians don't even speak that. They speak Arabic. So who speak that other ancient language?
Okay, so I'll say like, I remember, see, I'm 52. And like what you would say, I come to find out that a lot of them, whether it be Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark, all these people I've been around, I used to go pick them up from the airport when they come. But still yet, like you say, under oath. Even Renoka Rashidi is making a big, starting to ascend again. But still yet, there's a certain information that we won't go past.
They're not going to move nowhere unless they all check for their grandma. Shame on them.
Well, I understand. Yes.
People granny to assign it to us for years. Them men done wasted their career. I don't know how old they is, but he spent the latter part of his years trying to talk about some people from across the goddamn continent. Them people have been irresponsible. I'll tell you what is over. That reign of untruth is over. What's going to happen is with these Aboriginals, because they're starting, as they act like they about the truth. When I posted that picture of Heather Locklear, that proves that they're not about that truth. Because it don't matter how white that woman look, they still going by lookership. The same way these niggas say, you don't look like an Indian, huh? You don't look like they say, and that is exactly what the Aboriginals doing. When you got the genealogy, you know that these family trees extend and reach across different areas. You know better. And when you know better, you do better, right? So I'm gonna go. I gotta get some stuff together, and I'm about to hit the room, hit the gym. Y'all catch me over at Planet Fitness. Anybody in Queens, come meet up. Let's go on over there and sit on over there and talk shit while we on the exercise.
Hey, Sister Phoenix Moon, check this out. All right, you New York cities, and him over there too. That movie live. Love you, sweetie. Love you.
Yes, you guys have a great day. It's been real coming through with y'all. Definitely make your informed decision or don't make one at all. It's still your choice, but you can't complain if you got an opportunity to do something about it and you don't do nothing about it. We don't really want to hear the clap back from that, right? Got to take care of yourself, take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? Go hug somebody in your family, right? Do something good with yourself today. Most importantly, don't forget grandma and grandpa.
Yes, always. Cut a grass, do something for her nice, all that.
Go holler at somebody. Go tell somebody that you ain't spoke to that you care about, you love them. Life is too short, right? Definitely want to do that. Definitely want to do that. The rest of y'all have a wonderful day. Stay healthy in Indian country, mind, body, and soul, man. Chapisa la chike.